So, hello then. Welcome back to another Night of the Movies podcast. I'm Spy Knight, and in these podcasts, I love talking about things, movies and TV, and whatever I want, or whenever I want. And in today's podcast, I'm with him as we talk about his experience watching The Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King, the third Lord of the Rings film for the first time. So, without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? So, about a year ago now, actually over a year ago now, me and Lewis did a podcast talking about his first thoughts on seeing The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, the first Lord of the Rings film for the first time. And I remember you saying you liked it.
Yeah, I definitely did. I like all the three, but
well, okay, that spoiled something. Well, I was going to ask you. I was going to wait for your opinion on Return of the King, but okay, you already know he likes, but we'll get into more of his thoughts on this The Lord of the Rings film shortly. But that was over a year ago, and I was planning to do these podcasts with him pretty shortly after that one, but then our schedules didn't really line up, and
it wasn't over a year ago that we watched the first Lord of the Rings, was it?
It was.
I don't think it's been that long.
Right, shall I look it up on YouTube?
I didn't think it had been.
Right, one sec. I'm going to prove Lewis wrong.
I think you are right, because I think that the last time that I saw
it was the 21st of June, 2024.
You're absolutely right. I don't believe that.
So yeah, it was over a year ago.
There's no wonder I forgot so much from the first one.
Because we were watching, it was like, I've forgotten this, I've forgotten that, and I was like, well, it doesn't really matter. Just try and understand what's going on.
I didn't realise it had been that long.
Yeah, so, and because of our schedules, and because of everything going on, we both...
Life.
Surprisingly enough, we do have lives, particularly me, yes. I know it might be surprising with what you see behind me, but I do have a life.
Well, so do I.
Yeah, but...
Certainly
when you see the stuff behind me, you might not believe I have a life. That's the point of it.
No.
Because it's not stuff I collect. But yeah, we have watched the other Lord of the Rings from the second Lord of the Rings from. We did watch that a couple of months ago now. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. But I just simply forgot to do a podcast on his first thoughts after seeing that. But I remembered to do a podcast on his thoughts after seeing the third Lord of the Rings film. But before we get into his thoughts after seeing The Lord of the Rings, Return of the King for the first time, what were your thoughts on The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, the second Lord of the Rings film?
Well, I thought it was really good.
Brilliant. Deep criticism there. Deep film reviewing at its finest.
I mean, I don't remember the first one too well because it was that long ago, but I think I might have preferred... I can't remember what I said about the second one at the time.
I think you said you preferred the second one at the time.
Did I? At the time?
But then earlier today, not to go into too much details, but he said he preferred the first one. So I don't
know.
I don't know. What did you think of the big battle at the end of that film? Because that's...
I really enjoyed the big battle, but I absolutely love I loved the battle in the first one. You know when
in the woods.
One of the main characters sadly.
Boromir. That's not a spoiler. If you're watching this and you didn't know Boromir died in the first
it's
Lord
been
of the
out
Rings
long
film,
enough at this point.
I'd be very surprised.
Exactly, but I think that battle, even the second one, I can only remember so much. You have to jog my memory, but if you want to give it a detailed.
Do you remember Treebeard? He was in that one actually, very briefly. I'm going to take that as a no. No, I remember him saying at the time that he enjoyed it, and that's all that really matters for that. Let's move on to The Return of the King. So, it's important to note here, we both haven't read the Lord of the Rings books.
No.
We watched the extended edition, which he didn't know we were watching, actually. I've glitches told him that now. Because I think the theatrical cut for Return of the King, not that I've seen it, but from what I've heard, it cuts out a lot from the film, like Saruman's death at the start of the film isn't in the original cut, which I think is a very important scene. So yeah, we watched the extended edition. I've spoken about my opinion on Return of the King at length on this channel in the past, but I'm going to quickly go over that. I think it's the perfect conclusion to the Lord of the Rings trilogy. This, in my opinion, this film is what makes the Lord of the Rings trilogy the best trilogy of all time. Clearly, I'm a Star Wars fan and I love the original Star Wars trilogy to death, but...
Just a bit.
Yeah,
just a little bit.
I do think Return of the King is a better film than Return of the Jedi, just saying. I'm being completely honest. And I also think Fellowship of the Ring is a better film than A New Hope, but I do think Empire Strikes Back is a better film than Two Towers. So.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, Star Wars and Lord of the Rings are both different, aren't they?
Yeah, they're different things.
They're not the same.
People often say, what are the best trilogies of all time? They say something like the Godfather trilogy, or the original Star Wars trilogy, or the Lord of the Rings trilogy. And personally, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is my favourite. It's one trilogy to rule them all. I love all the writing in this film. I love the epicness. I love the battle sequences, and the battle sequences work so well because we're so attached to the characters during the battle sequences. I love the way it looks. I love that they actually use sets of the film. I love all the character development, all of the emotional character moments, and there are so many moments which hit you in the feels and move you, and it's just an amazing film. It is near perfect in my opinion. There's a couple of nitpicks I could pick out here and there, but honestly, I love this film to death, hence why I watch it every single Christmas/New Year period with my family. Now, over to Lewis. What did you think of the film?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, obviously it's a bit long, but you know, I mean, sometimes the best films are the longest, aren't they? Not in every case, but.
So, was it your favourite Lord of the Rings film, or would you have to think about that a bit more?
I'd probably say so, to be honest with you.
I think it's your favourite?
Yeah, I'll say yeah.
So, your overall thoughts are, you enjoyed the film? You liked it quite a lot?
Very much. My only criticism is, I mean, there's that many characters in it, and that, do you know what I mean? That many... It's a bit hard to actually get to know everyone. I think I'd have to just go, I'd have to watch the film several times and really...
The thing is with me, well, I have watched it several times, so like I said, I watch it every Christmas and New Year period. But also, when I usually rewatch the films, I usually watch them in one go. Like, I don't split over the course of a year like what you basically did.
No,
so
well, that's different.
Exactly, so you're probably going to find it more difficult. And yeah, there are a lot of characters, and even my brother, who's like the biggest Lord of the Rings fan in the world, honestly, you will not find a big Lord of the Rings fan, I can bet you that now. Even he said to me the other day, like, yeah, there are a hell of a lot of characters, even it took me a while to get my head around who was who in the film. So yeah, I understand that criticism. What were your thoughts on the opening with how you saw Gollum become Smeagol, how you saw Smeagol coming to being?
I thought it was clever. I thought it just it kind of just threw the audience straight in rather than there being like a big like slow build up. Like it's like as soon as the film started, that's it. It started.
I think it's a really clever way to open it. Yeah, because it's like you're not quite sure who it is initially. Unless you know who Andy Serkis was, because Andy Serkis plays Gollum. But if you didn't know that after watching The Two Towers, and not everybody did, and he does play Gollum, by the way, he doesn't just voice Gollum, it's motion capture stuff. The way it throws you in the beginning, and the way it sets you up with this sort of horror tone there, I just think is fantastic. What were your thoughts on the direction the film took?
On the direction, I thought it was great. I didn't see any problems with it at all.
Brilliant. Please, Lewis. That's all we need. Okay. What?
I mean, I don't know what else you want me to say on that
one. What were your thoughts on the epic scale of the film?
What do you mean by? Can you elaborate on that?
Did you think it was? How epic did you think it was? Did you think it was exciting? Did you think it was maybe too epic, or did you think it was just epic enough, or did you think that it was like one of the most epic films you've seen?
I mean, it's definitely up there with the most epic films I've seen. I can safely say. I'm saying that honestly. I'm not just saying that. You know.
I mean, that whole battle sequence, the battle of Minas Tirith with the elephants. They're called elephants, but the elephants in the film. You know the
giant elephant.
Yeah, brilliant.
Is that?
So did you think it was an epic film?
Oh yeah, it's definitely up there with the most epic films I've ever watched in my lifetime.
Did you think there was a lot of world building going on?
What do you mean by?
Well, expanding on locations and going to all these different locations in a film.
Yeah, well, I liked how I went from...
Like Minas Tirith, it's the first time you see Minas Tirith in a Lord of the Rings movie.
Well, I liked how I went from 3 different groups of characters at the time. So you had...
Frodo and Sam and
Gollum, and you are... Who else?
Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Gandalf, Merry and Pippin. They were the second group. And then,
and there was another group.
Who were the third? Well, I suppose third.
There was another group.
Theoden, and then his niece and his nephew. And then you also had this stuff going on Gondor, you know, Boromir's father, who said was a right piece of work.
Yeah. so you had,
there's a lot of storylines going on.
So all the main characters are split up. I like how they split up into different groups, and the story goes... The story branches off it swaps between each
yeah, I know what you're
group of
saying.
characters.
And I think it does so seamlessly, and I also think it does so in a way where you are attached to each of the characters. I personally don't think any of the character storylines are boring when you're cutting between all of them.
No, I did feel like a personal connection built between me and some of the characters. You know, like
I think that's on purpose.
I started to care about,
and that's why you really find the battle sequences exciting and moving, and great to watch. What do you think of the death of Saruman? Now, this is only in the extended edition. If you've not seen the extended edition, you can watch the scene on YouTube. What did you think of the death of Saruman?
I thought it was a bit out of nowhere, a bit out of the blue. Like I wasn't expecting it.
Well, in the last film,
I thought he had it. I wasn't expecting it, but I thought he deserved it on memory from.
Yeah, he's not a nice character.
What he did in the
him and Gandalf. You find this out a bit more in the Hobbit. They were like super close, and then he basically betrays Gandalf in the first film. He turns evil, properly evil in the second film. So yeah, I mean, the way they shoot that scene where he's falling down that tower.
Yeah.
The tower
and the way that the giant
hits
spike just goes straight through him is
brilliant, and the way Wormtongue stabs him from behind.
Down.
I think it's more effective. I will say this: if you watch Two Towers and Return of the King, close together, so maybe that's why it wasn't as effective for you. What were your thoughts on the battle sequences? What was your favourite sequence of the film at that?
It would have to be. Well, I've got several battle sequences which I enjoyed. I mean, I loved the little one with. I loved the little one towards the end between Sam, the Golem.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Frodo, that one, fighting for the ring. That one's up there. I love the main battle towards the end with the castle and the giant elephants, whatever they're called, etc. The main one.
Elephant, yeah.
When they're all joining in together. And the king sadly dies, but his niece manages to...
she's there with him in his final moments.
She beheads the
witch king of Agmar. You see, I know all these things because I've seen it about a gazillion times.
And kills the...
I am no man.
Server of Satan, whoever he was, I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever his name was.
No man can kill me. I am no man.
Yeah.
Oh, iconic.
The guy with the helmet with no face.
Yeah, Witch King of Agmar.
Right, brilliant.
Were there any standout moments? Do any standout? Well, that's kind of that already. But I know one sequence you really like was the sequence with Legolas.
I love it when Sam carries Frodo at the end.
Frida, yeah, the chocolate. No, it's Frodo.
Frodo.
That was one of the best things about watching the first Lord of the Rings film. I still have this memory, even though it's over a year ago now, where it was towards the end of the first Lord of the Rings film, and obviously Frodo runs off to go to the boat to get away from the Fellowship, and then Lewis turns to me and says, "Where's Frodo going?" And I was like,
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. I remember. Anyway,
that was one of my
when
favourite.
he goes, I may not be able to carry it, but I can carry you. It's something like that. Yeah,
that was special.
You like the Legolas scene where he's on the elephant. When he's on the elephant.
Oh yeah, he's using the arrows to climb.
Take down the
elephant. Yeah, that was good.
Take down the mercenaries.
I love that scene. I thought the scene where Gandalf came to rescue. What was the name of the guy who they thought he was dead at first? Yeah, they came to save him off the fire because his father was trying to kill him.
And then
that was moving. And his father his father gets his comeuppance.
Yeah, burned alive and runs off the little spike bit onto the battle. One of them, just amazing.
That was up there in my most moving scenes. And when the king sadly dies and he sees his niece and nephew there, and that was obviously very sad.
My favourite sequences, I mean, the Sam and Frodo scene, I cannot carry it, but I can carry you. I love that scene to pieces. One of my favourite sequences is the light and the beacons with the music in the background soaring. And also
the wedding at the end and when he gets crowned.
I like that scene. I like that scene quite a lot. I mean, I don't think there are any bad scenes in the film. I also love the Shelob scene, the scene with the spider. Spider's called Shelob. You see Shelob's kids in the second Hobbit film. So there's more spiders in the Lord of the Rings films that we have to come. Also, what's my other favourite scene? My other favourite scene... Oh, that's it. King Theoden's speech just before they go into battle. Where it's like... I can't remember what he says, but it's like swords will be shared and everything like that.
Yeah, I like how he rides along and uses his sword to tap all.
Yeah. It's just, it gives you goosebumps. Anyway, did you find it moving?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I've just.
You just read about questions.
I didn't see it. I wasn't going off the question before. But I've kind of just given you lots of examples of when watching a film, scenes, moments, where I found it very moving.
I'd say one scene I know you found moving because you remember you saying, but you've probably forgotten now, is when Aragorn says to the hobbits after his coronation, "You bow to no one." And then all the people that one. Him. I remember him saying at the time, "Oh, that's moving."
I think that one. I think that was probably the scene that I found the most moving due to the fact that I actually said that was moving.
Yeah, he did actually say at the time. He doesn't usually say that when I watch a film with him. We watched a lot of films together now. Did you think?
Many years.
Yeah. Did you think it was well made?
Oh, definitely. I can't think of any reason why it wasn't well made.
Same director as the 2005 King Kong film. In fact, that was the film he did after this.
Well, that's actually believable when watching.
Yeah, he did that. He did it 2 years after this. Like, he literally jumped into King Kong straight afterwards.
Well, they're similar, aren't they? Like, they're
both long.
Yeah, and they're both like adventure films going off.
Expansive, epic.
Massive, huge creatures.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And funny thing is, the guy plays Smeagol, aka Gollum, in the Lord of the Rings films. He does all the movements of King Kong in the 2005 King Kong film.
Didn't know that.
I
love the 2005.
What did you think of the John? What? No, it wasn't John Williams. What did you think of the musical score?
I thought it was brilliant. Yeah, I liked it.
Was there any standout moments in the musical score to you?
Well, battle sequences which you'd expect, but half the time you could barely hear the music due to the noise of the battle.
Yeah, that's him playing Gollum. So I've got a picture up there.
Oh.
And I'll get a picture of him playing. I've met him. Here's a picture of me meeting Andy Serkis. I put it on screen now. He was a super nice guy. I said to him after the meeting.
I've seen a picture of you meeting him.
And that's him as playing King Kong. Look.
Is that him?
Yeah, he's also in the film.
He plays that guy. Wow.
He's also the chef in.
Oh yeah, he got eaten alive, didn't he?
Yeah, but he plays two roles, and then he's obviously in the Planet of the Apes films as well. He does a lot of like the motion capture kind of work. See, that's him. In the end, King Kong. But anyway, so you're a fan of the musical score. Thoughts on the fact that it tied Titanic by winning 11 Oscars at the Academy Awards, which rarely ever happens with a fancy film. Do you think it was deserving?
Yeah, I'm asking. I think it was well deserved. I think I can definitely believe it after having watched the film.
Do you prefer it over Titanic?
No, I still prefer Titanic.
Oh wow!
I'm going to be honest. I don't know.
I don't.
I've seen Titanic lots of times, so it's easy for me to say. I'd have to watch it again. I think
Titanic is a very good film.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen Titanic more.
If someone was to say which one would you watch, I would, in a heartbeat, say Return of the King. Again, if I love Titanic, I'm not dissing it, but there were just parts of Titanic where I'm like, it's a little bit mushy for my liking, but still, it's not bad.
They're different. That's because Titanic. They're both different.
I think they're both very different.
They're both completely different films. Titanic is a romance, mushy, ooey gooey film, but
I've never heard anyone call it ooey gooey.
But it's tied. It is, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
But it's tied in with a true natural disaster.
I never let go.
It's tied in with a true disaster.
Yeah.
It's a disaster movie with romance added in, and Lord of the Rings is a fantasy
there's
film.
a little bit of romance in there. It's not really.
Not like, it's not a romance film.
But the great thing is, we live in the world where both of them exist. We don't need to choose between both of them.
You can watch both.
Exactly. One night you can watch Titanic. That'd be one heck of a day watching Titanic in the morning and Return of the King in the afternoon / evening. Christ, we'd be finishing at like
maybe not then.
12 o'clock at night. Anyway, next, what was the next question? What did you think of the endings, from how everything concluded? Did you think it was too stretched out, or do you think it was the right length?
I mean,
you can be honest.
It could have been shorter. 4 hours is a very long time for a film. I mean, come on.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did show him the extended edition, but
how much longer is the extended
Well,
version?
the thing is, people say, it's an hour longer than the theatrical cut, but the theatrical cut is 3 hours and a half.
So it's half an hour longer.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you look at the runtime for the extended edition, it says 4 hours and a half. But the credits are about 20 minutes.
Blimey, that's insane.
Because they credited all the people who helped fund the film. because there was all these big Lord of the Rings fans who were fans of the books, so they credited them on the extended editions. So actually, the film's really about 4 hours, maybe just over 4 hours, so it's not as long as it may seem when you look it up. I can tell you that now. But did you like how everything concluded?
Yeah, I feel like everything concluded without the audience having to ask many questions, you know.
Yeah, it wasn't like Weapons, which you watched the other day. No. And I loved Weapons, by the way, but it concludes in a way where like, what? You can do a sequel.
It finishes and you're just like, oh.
You're like, oh, okay. There's questions to be asked there, and it sounds like they might be answered at some
Not
point.
like with other films like that.
But yeah, with this film, you had like the Hobbits sort of separating. You had Aragorn becoming king, and then Sam returns home. He's married the girl of his dreams, and he's got a family in the Shire. So it's kind of a perfect ending. And I don't care what anybody says. I think the endings to the film are earned, are deserving. I don't care about the multiple endings. I love them all. Are you interested in watching the Hobbit movies now after this film?
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited about the Hobbit movies.
I will say they're different. Yeah. They were made like... I think the first Hobbit film came out in 2011, and the last one came out in 2014. They are shorter. There's some of the same characters, like Bilbo's in it, Gandalf's in it.
I mean, I'm sure they're still long. I mean, it doesn't say much.
No, yeah, they are long. I say they're shorter
compared to the Lord of the Rings.
I think the first film's about 2 hours and a half. The second film, 2 hours and a half. Third film, about 3 hours. So it's not short still, but you know, I personally love the Hobbit movies. They're more divisive. Not everybody loves them the same way people love Lord of the Rings, but I think it's going to be interesting to see what you think of them.
I might prefer them.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a chance I will.
He's yet to see Smaug, and I know you're a fan of Benedict Cumberbatch, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he voices a dragon.
Oh God! Well, that'll be easy to spot, I'm sure.
And so, how would you rate these films overall, Lord of the Rings films overall, and which we've already established which is?
I think my favourite. I think I'm gonna have to say the one we just watched.
Yeah,
the third one.
Fair enough. I mean, I personally, I don't like to choose favourites in Lord of the Rings films because they're all kind of the same in quality to me. But gun to my head, I would probably say Return of the King. But also, you know, I would also choose Two Towers and Fellowship of the Ring in a heartbeat to watch. I love both of those films so much. They're in my top 10 favourite films. So how do you rate these films overall?
Well, my favourites are not. Well, do you like rate them in order or?
Well, I just mean like how when you look back on the Lord of the Rings trilogy, how are you going to look back on it? Are you going to look back on it positively overall, overwhelmingly positive, or just positive?
I'm going to look back on them positively. At the end of the films are a handful, and you've got to have a lot of time you've got to have a lot of time on your hands to watch them.
They're a journey.
You've got to have time to go back and watch them again, because there's no way you're going to remember everyone and everything after watching them all for the first time, which is the shoes that I'm in at the moment. But if you've got the time on your hands, and obviously you like those sort of films, fantasy films, which I do. That's a hard word to say. Then yeah, I definitely rate them.
Well, that's why I watch them every Christmas, because that's when you have that time free, you know, around the Christmas period or in the summer, which is why we watched it now. So yes, overall, you're a big fan of Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Yeah, I'd say so. I would recommend Lord of the Rings to anybody.
To anybody who hasn't seen it yet, you're watching this podcast, you're like, gee, should I watch Lord of the Rings? Have your recommendation.
You'd be surprised. Same as Star Wars.
Yeah, there are a lot of people.
The number of people out there that haven't seen Star Wars is just, yeah.
It is crazy. But then sometimes they hear about these geeky things and they just think it's not going to be for them. But Lord of the Rings,
definitely recommend.
When you get past the elves, the goblins, the dwarves, the trolls, it's about companionship. It's about friendship. It's about the power of friendship. It's about love more than anything, and love in all different types of forms. And it's about, you know, sticking with one another.
Yeah, well, friends united. That's what Lord of the Rings
and the power of hope. There's a reason they keep saying hope, the word hope, throughout these films. So yes, that's what these films are really about. They get past the fantasy stuff, and I can tell you now, you'll have an amazing time with these movies. They're so well made. I love them. Do you love them overall, or would you?
I don't feel love for them, but I definitely like them. I'm fond of them.
Fair enough.
I speak highly of them.
I mean, that's how I felt when I watched them for the first time. So you never know. Maybe in like 10 years' time, you watch them again and it might feel differently. But
well, it's just because I've just come. I've not long watched them all, but with the likes of like Indiana Jones and Star Wars, I've been watching.
He's a big Indiana Jones fan.
Yeah, and Star Wars. I've been watching them. Yeah. I've been watching them since I was a kid. But, so I feel more strongly for them.
Yeah, and I've been watching Lord of the Rings since I was a kid. Like, some of my earliest memories are watching the Battle of Minas Tirith and literally getting so excited when the elephants came on screen. So yes, I love them. He's a fan. And what would you rate Lord of the Rings: Return of the King out of 10?
I'll give it a 7 to. I'll give it an 8. I really liked it, but obviously it was pretty long. I think that's probably my only criticism, and also it's not a bad criticism.
No, it's not.
I did enjoy the film.
It's not one that has been unheard of.
There were so many characters in this one. I thought there was more characters in this one than there has been in
I think you're
any
right.
of the other ones.
I think you're right. Because you get like Denethor and like Faramir.
But
yeah, the Faramir is also in the second film. But also, my rating would be a 10 out of 10. I've given it a 10 out of 10 on this trial in the past. I love it. I don't think there's anything you can change about it. Anyway, yes, those are my thoughts on The Return of the King, and those are his thoughts on The Return of the King as well. We're both fans, and we'll probably do this again when we watch the first Hobbit movie, but I don't know when that will be. That could be in a bit of time. That might be soon.
It could be this month.
I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see how everything aligns up. But until then, guys, hopefully you enjoyed watching or listening to this podcast. And if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe on this video down below. And look forward to many more videos and many more podcasts coming very, very soon on the channel. Thank you very much for joining me, Lewis.
No problem. It's been a pleasure to join you today, Spike. And I've not been in one of Spike's movie reviews for a long time now.
For over a year. The last time was Fellowship the Ring.
I can't believe it's been that long.
So,
it's flown by. So it's been nice to come back again and see you viewers.
And hopefully we'll be back sooner rather than later. We'll just see how everything goes. But until next time, until my next podcast, in which I will almost definitely be by myself. Until then, thank you guys for watching or listening to this podcast, and I will see you guys again soon. But bye for now. Bye.